Radiation today and the 5G conversation. 5G is a cellular telephone protocol that is also going to be broadcasting in a new frequency spectrum. So, what does that mean? What do we know about frequency spectrums? Not enough. Inside this is a big word in science. Interferometry. It's the interference that particles go through when traveling through space. It's a conversation in radar about how well that signal travels and can reflect back into that tiny little antenna sweeping hundreds of square miles. So interferometry is one piece of the physics of radar sets. But that physics, that science, that understanding is fundamental energy and particle interactions. Now, I know for some people this gets into crystal nonsense. You can't go there with it. This is the reality of frequency spectrums and energy spectrums in the world. Why can I speak to this? Because my training in radar included a little bit of time spent on cancer caused by radar frequency energy. It's a combination of the energy, your distance to it, and the frequency of that energy. In this case, it's electromagnetic energy in the gigahertz, which is the frequencies we're talking about getting into for communications. And we know from this science of interferometry that certain particles at certain frequencies interact with the human body, as one example. Now, the proof for this is put something in the microwave and see how it reacts. Put a piece of aluminum foil in there. It's not the same reaction as with a piece of paper, is it? Put a wet piece of paper in there. So that is the facts we know about interferometry, about energy transfer into systems. So that 5G conversation, a tell in it is the no harm claim. When they start throwing that, when individuals speaking to no harm, this is the same issue the nuclear organizations, corporations use to blur these conversations. The particle matters, electron, photon, alpha, beta, gamma particles, subatomic center of nuclear physics we're still talking and learning about. So these interactions are interactions of specific types of particles with specific frequencies, and that's exactly where the 5G conversation is. We can prove the harm of these frequencies at certain powers, a certain distance from the body. That's why antennas should be mounted up high for a number of reasons besides exposure. That's why an antenna is turned off when those guys climb up to the top of it to service it. One of the reasons besides electrocution potential. There is 5G, not made simple. Real conversation should be put out. There is a risk. It should be at least admitted to and monitored, so it could be better done the next time, or not done at all this time. But we like our cell phones. All right, I tied a massive science word, interferometry. It is what helps describe mathematically the physics of optical emission spectroscopy. It is what describes how a radar set helps describe how a radar set works. On a foggy day, it's different than a clear day. It's how it works. Put your phone in your back pocket. Ass cancer is very rare these days, so that's my best recommendation for all of them. Ass phones.